back, everybody. I'm Matt.
Welcome back. I'm Jimmy.
We are two average guys, and we have our guy, Brandon.
Our guy.
Back.
You.
Finally, we're getting back on the show. We have been kind of just, we've been doing our own thing with some other shows and keeping in touch with Brandon and trying to get him back. And so he's just been so busy as well. So finally able to get him back on the show. And honestly, they're super excited to have you back, Brandon.
Yeah,
so
man.
thanks for coming back on the show.
It's our favorite time.
Yeah. So let's talk about what you've been up to, man. You've been, like I said, you've been busy.
Yeah.
You're doing more than what you were before. You've been doing the faith jump.
Yep.
You just started that shortly before we did our last show.
Yep.
So let's talk about a little bit about faith jump, and I think you're doing something with Miller West as well, right?
Miller North.
Miller North.
Yeah,
So let's talk. What's life like?
Man.
What are you doing? How's family?
So everybody's good. Family's good. Wife is excellent. She's still crazy, but it works. She's good. She's great.
She's with you. She got to be real crazy, right?
But everything's good, man. The kids are well. And yeah, Faith Jump, man. Faith Jump was something that I started in February of 2020, going into 2020.
Okay.
And that year, going into January, I was kind of struggling with the decision of going into church ministry.
Okay.
If that was a calling for me. I felt God working on my heart, but I didn't really know if it was that. And then going into the new year, he put Faith Jump on my heart. And it was for me, it gave me that confidence in saying, okay, this is him telling me that you want me to take a leap into ministry, but you also want me to do something within, because obviously I had the Red Fan Nation, but you want me to do something within clothing that's innovative, that spreads the gospel. So once it started kind of rolling, man, one thing led to another. I got a trademark, I got an LLC, and I was just off from there, man. So it was a year, this past February. So it's been doing well, absolutely doing well.
I see it popping
all the time, right?
Over the place. Yeah. No, it's good.
Yeah. So it's good there, and then and then with Miller, I just became the director of Miller North Junior Mustangs. So excited to start this year up. Excited to get back after and start training. I'm also getting ready to start a sports training business too as well. So I'm working on getting the building now on 90th and Blondo.
Okay.
But in the meantime, I'm gonna start just at a residential park or a public park and just get after it from there. So I'm looking to launch that April 13th.
Can we sign up?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'll sign up myself.
That's cool, man.
No,
Yeah,
awesome.
I know you've been. You got kids in football.
Yep.
You got two kids in football right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, my youngest plays football and basketball.
Okay.
My son that lives in Kansas City, he is just doing basketball now. He sat out of football this year just with COVID and everything. But my young one is after it. Like he's just wants it bad all the time.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Nice. Very cool. Yeah. So you're a busy man. So I'm glad we got you now. So
No,
we might struggle later.
I've always got time for y'all,
Literally,
man.
whenever you want to come, let us know. You're welcome.
So we talked to Yoshi last week.
Yeah,
so we were just talking about this when he got here. For one, Yoshi's just the man.
Yes.
And we know that we met you and him at the same time.
Yep.
And so great having him on the show. Just man, he's just a light. Like he's
Yeah,
one of those guys that just he was happy.
Man, when he came on the screen, I was like, man, you're looking good.
Yeah.
You're sounding good, feeling good.
He's a good dude, man.
He's a red till dead guy too.
Yeah.
He got Husker stuff on
all day long. Yeah.
So
I just follow on Twitter. I don't care what sport it is. I'm like, I'm cheering for it.
He's there, man.
But I wanted to talk about this whole what happened down at Fort Scott Community College, because he told us.
He told some good
honestly,
stories.
he talked about how you recruited them
Yeah.
to Nebraska. So we'll get to that
Absolutely.
next. But let's first talk about Levante David.
Yeah, man.
Because you just shared us something that Levante David shared about when he was covering you, and Yoshi told us.
Yoshi told us the story.
Yeah.
Levante David became Levante David when he knocked you out.
Yes, yeah, he
Because
did.
you were the shit.
Yeah.
So you said you were the diva.
I wasn't diva.
So you tell
I
your
was
side of the
receiver.
story. What happened?
So, absolutely. I mean, all of that is true. We were on one-on-ones that day. It was raining, too, because I remember when he hit me, I slid to the garbage cans. I was so mad. But Levante came late, as you guys heard on I Am Athlete and from Yoshi. He came late, so we didn't really think anything of it. We had already went through all the hard parts, the 220s and the running to the lake and the up-down. So I'm like, there's no way he's going to survive. Like, he's out of state, too. And at that time, Kansas had a 12-man out-of-state rule. Mm-hmm. So you can only have 12 outside of the state of Kansas. So it was like 60 out-of-staters, and we would all compete for 12 spots.
Oh, damn.
Now, that rule is now Coach Sims, our coach, got that rule lifted. So now I think it's been lifted for about 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
But, yeah, so once he came, I'm like, this dude is Nobody. He got this ugly helmet, face mask, this ugly jersey. And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. So when he jumped up on one-on-ones in front of me, I'm like, really? I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll do this. Like, it's fine, I'll do it. And I go to run a slant, and I'm not even paying attention to the lines. I'm not even looking. I'm looking back at the ball, and before I can even get the ball, he smacks me, lays me out, literally. And I slide to the garbage can. How you set up 707 as the lineman. And I got him flailing mad, like, how dare you hit me? Who are you? I had some choice words in there, too.
I say you.
I had some choice words, too. I had some choice words in there, too. But then I said, line back up. And then we lined back up, and I smacked him in his helmet. And I took him deep. Right after that, too. Took him deep, and he was like, play ball, man. I was like, F you, dude.
That's great.
Yeah, but, man, after that day, dude, he was I had to be honest about it and say, yeah, man, this is a good football player. Then he added to our team that year, so it was great.
And, you know, Yoshi told us last week, you know, he just kept talking about, like, more players and guys that I did not realize how many guys you had on that roster. It's incredible.
It's crazy.
And who was coach? That
Jeffrey Sims.
No, there was one of the strength and conditioning or wide receivers. No, it wasn't wide receivers. One of the coaches.
Anyway, we have a friend that we went to high school with, and he's an avid watcher. And his brother-in-law or something.
His brother-in-law was the coach before Scott.
Really?
So we asked.
Was it Mike Chandler? Wasn't Chandler?
No, he kind of had a weird last name.
Tom, if you're watching
Zazinski, or I know you.
Short last name.
Okay, I think I know.
I can't remember. We'll look it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
just,
you know,
the roster up and down.
It was crazy. And
I mean, talking like Stanley John Baptiste was a red shirt.
He didn't even play.
0 stars in red.
I redshirted my first
He
year.
didn't play.
I redshirted my first year.
Truly incredible.
Played the second year. I had 3 years to play. I was so mad. I went out for basketball. I'm like, I'll go play basketball. So I played basketball my first year. Coach Sims, my coach, came in one practice and was like, cuss me out. Get off the court. I ain't paying you to go to play basketball if they want to do this. So then the coach ran after him and said, please, no, let him play. We need him. Let him play. So he's like, if your grade slip one time, if you miss practice, you're done. So, but he ended up loving it. He was at every game cheering as loud as he could. So it was awesome, man.
That's fantastic. Yeah, so we didn't, for one, we didn't even know red shirt and JUCO was a thing.
Yeah.
Is this still a thing? Like,
Absolutely. Yeah, you could take a year. I mean, and it just depends. Because you can do 3 years, which is long and dreading. I mean, JUCO, you want to get in and get out. But if you redshirt a year, play 2 years, you still got 2 years to play, at the D1 level, but it's just 3 years in JUCO. It's like, you want to do one and done, or
there you go.
Red shirt, one done.
Okay.
So.
And then, like you said, Stanley John Baptiste was on your team.
Yep.
Jason Pierre-Paul. Like, you played with Super Bowl champs. I mean, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I hope we're starting to get some of that pipeline back to
Absolutely. Yeah.
where we can see those guys that are maybe rare talents that you just don't hear about. Cause
who's the wide receiver coming in?
Tour?
Yeah.
But he's not coming from JUCO. He's still coming from.
He's coming from FCS.
Yeah. So we got to keep finding those rare talents, especially at that wide receiver position.
Yeah.
And we were just looking at the roster a little bit ago, and we wanted to talk to you about the offense because we struggled this last year.
Yeah. I feel like it was a little better. I think Adrian was a little better. It's still not where I feel like it was 2 years ago.
And it's hard when you have a true freshman wide receiver that leads the team in yards, and then the next week catches in yards, and then next week.
Yeah.
So no one really stepped. I mean, Xavier Betts was great.
Mm-hmm.
Omar Manning was.
You didn't see him a lot.
He played like two plays in one game. I think that was it.
But I hear he is freakish.
Right.
I hear from he is
videos on Twitter and he's doing freakishly athletic things.
Yeah.
So I hope that
he's out there working.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was mental health for him or what it was, but I really hope he's out on the field this year. It'd be a great addition with Tour especially as well. But let's talk about size. How tall are you?
I'm about 6'3".
Okay, 6'3". Okay.
220.
Okay, so we were looking at our roster. We'll talk about tight ends here in a second. But just our wide receiver core, guys that are going to see the field. We got Jamie Nance, 6 foot. Lante Brown is, and Will Nixon, 5'11".
Okay.
Two shortest guys, so maybe more of a slot type guy.
Guys.
And both those guys, I think, are going to. Brown, we've seen him play.
Yep.
We know he can catch the ball. We know he can play. Then you got Omar Manning, 6'4". DeMarion Houston, 6 foot. Xavier Betts, 6'2". Baron Miles Jr. So Baron Miles was an ex-Husker, so his son's coming in from Canada. He's 6 foot.
Oh wow.
We got, let's see, Wyatt Lever. He's down at 6'3". Hickman's 6'6".
I did not know Hickman was
Man.
Levi Falk is 6'2". Oliver Martin's 6'1". Then I have three incoming freshmen: Grimes, Hardy, and Neville. 6'3", 6'3", 6'4". Then Tour is 6'3". So we got, this
That's
is
a
like
crowded room for a position that was not that great last year.
crowded, but big, tall. Like that's
Big.
Not even talking about the tight ends.
yeah. And so I think when Frost mentioned early in the year about upcoming spring, what he's looking for this next year in the offense is the size and the talent of wide receiver. A lot of people are kind of balking out, like, oh, show it on the field, this and that. But if you look at the roster and the guys that are on the team, yes, we know the talent is there, but the size alone is something we've never had.
Yeah, true.
I don't know if Nebraska's ever had that size.
Not that big going down the line.
We were talking about it. I mean, I'm not sure what Stanley Morgan was. Maybe
I think he was about 6 foot.
6 foot.
Yeah,
Okay.
6
And,
foot.
but he was,
Play physical though. Play physical.
physical,
Yeah.
deep threat type of guy. But if you got multiple guys like that, we have not had that.
Yeah, that can run too.
Since Stanley.
Yeah, they can run.
And then you pair it with the tight ends.
Yeah, they were already big boys already. Yeah.
You got 6'8" Austin Allen. You got a Kurt Raftel who's 6'7". Vokalek is 6'6". Carney's 6'5". Fedoni coming in 6'5". And then who else? we got
Fedoni
here?
should play right away.
And then AJ Rollins from Creighton Prep, he's 6'6". And then there's a Millard West, Evan Meyerzik, he's 6'5". So we got tight ends that are 6'5" plus, also on this team.
8.
So you hear all that as a wide receiver. What are you thinking about this offense as far as how we're going to be successful this next year?
I mean, I think that they're just looking, like you said, for big physical and athletic boys to go out there and catch the ball that you can throw the ball up to. But now, if you got 6'4" boys going deep, but then you got 6'3", 6'4", 2 coming underneath, that's scary, man. That's some scary stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but at the same time, they also, need to learn how to block.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And it's a
guys
thin
can do
line depending on your offense. I know when we were there, West Coast was block heavy. Like we really taught that. This offense could be, we want athletes to be athletes. Like block when you know what I mean? We teaching it, but it's mainly making plays and getting out there. So whoever's a coach really has to lean into that. I think that you have your different ones. Gilmore was more of a, you got to get down, get greedy, put your head in there. I don't think Williams was that. I think he was more of a just like, we're going to go out and play football.
Yeah.
We're going to get open. You know what I'm saying? You block when you block, but we just going to go and get up and play football.
Yeah.
So it just depends on what's there. But, I mean, it's still with that size. If you're that big, you can put your hands on somebody some way. You know what I'm saying? So.
Well, and you look at like safeties and DNs. Or not DNs, D-backs. You're typically not getting guys that are 6'3", 6'4" playing those positions.
No.
So you gotta have the advantage.
Those
You
guys
look
are
at
5'11" to maybe 6'2".
Yeah. And those are special guys, the 6'2" guys, where you're like, damn, I'm gonna have a fit with him because he's probably long. If I see that on there, I'm like, dang it.
Yeah. So I think we gotta get that trust, and Martinez is gonna have to really trust himself
Yeah.
to throw up those jump balls.
Yeah.
But we got
To air it out, give him a chance.
red zone.
Yeah.
Red zone offense has been awful under Frost, and Martinez, he struggles. He doesn't have that finesse. But man, I just think it's part of his trust. I don't know if it's trust in the receivers or in his arm, but we got 6'8", 6'7" tight end,
Right.
two tight ends,
All day
two
long.
wide receivers.
We don't have to have him rely on his legs to get in the end zone. He can find those guys
Easily. Back shoulder, throw it up, something. But when you that big, it's just boxing out. Yeah.
That's exciting. That height. We got Marquis Stepp coming in from USC in the running back position. Struggled with running back staying healthy last year, which I don't really get it. It was just weird, but
it's just we struggled. I mean, aside from Mills, we just struggled with like getting somebody going. To where they were confident enough to just pound it and just go. And that was Mills, and he was in, like you said, health wise, he wasn't 100% the whole year.
Yeah.
So some of the guys stepped in and they were fine, but they just never really got going.
Yeah, but I'm hoping Stepp can really give us that next push.
He'll be a what coming in?
He's gonna be.
I think he's
young. I think he's got 2 years.
Still got to sit out, right?
I think he only played 2 years over USC. I think
this point, I
I
don't
think
think
he'll go
he
right
has
away.
Yeah, he'll be playing right away.
Yeah.
So he's got 2 or 3 years in Nebraska, I think, if I remember correct. So, and a guy with experience. So he's got 2 years of experience at USC.
Yeah.
But we got Tompkins there. We got Marvin Scott, Sevion Morrison.
Gabe Urban's coming
Johnson,
in.
Ramirez Johnson.
Everybody's hyped about Gabe Urban.
Yeah.
They loading up. They loading it up.
Yeah.
So again, I think Frost mentions the most talented teams, and a lot of those
And
pessimistic people don't think it's really that true.
Oh, you had the best week of practice again. I get it.
But we do have to go out there and show it.
Yeah.
We do have to go out there and show it.
Yeah.
We got a tough year coming up. Tough schedule. What are your overall thoughts on the schedule, and how do you think Scott's going to be able to turn that program around this year? What do you think is the most important thing?
I just think that camaraderie is going to be very important to going into something like this. I know when I was here with Bo, I felt together going into every season. And then when I look back on the times that we were coming in ranked in the top 25, like I feel like we just, for me, I was taking that for granted. Like, yeah, we're just good. Like, and I didn't really understand.
We should be ranked higher,
right? Like, I didn't understand the magnitude of what that was. Like, dude, you was ranked every year that you were there. So I think that'll be one big thing, is that building that camaraderie over, especially out of all the stuff that you've seen this past was it winter or right after the season was all people leaving, this and that, this and that. And it's like, look, everybody asking, what you think? Look, I can't tell you what's going on down there. Like, I don't know that.
It's different than it was when you were there.
Yeah, like, so I don't know that, but what I'm saying is, like, this is the guy that's here, and this is who I think that can get it done. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't have a choice but to do this. I can join everybody else and say that whatever it may be, you need to go, you do this, but that's what we've seen. That's at least what I've seen in my time being, in Nebraska. It's like, as soon as it's not right, it's like, well, let's just give it time, because I feel like it's moving in the right direction. One guy told me, and I never looked at this perspective, and I don't know for sure, but he said that he feels like the coaches that he has aren't prepared for the type of level that we're at right now.
Gotcha.
And I'm like, okay, I never looked at that perspective. Like, you can be loyal to a fault, and Bo felt like that too when he got rid of Watson and Gilmore.
Yep.
Now, teach their own. I enjoyed Gilmore. You know what I mean? Like, the offense could have been a little different. Could have been a little bit more open, but I enjoyed Gilmore at least. But I felt that Bo felt like, well, okay, I don't want to be loyal to. I got to do something. Like, I got to do my job. I got some pressure on me. So that's a good perspective to look at it. And I never really did like that, but we'll see, man. I'm rocking with Scott. I believe in it from the interactions I've had with him, and then when I've seen him interact with the boys. You know what I'm saying? I think it's legit. You know what I'm saying? But it's just now getting after it, putting it on the field.
Yeah, I mean, they've done all the right things, said all the right things. Seems like everything.
Bless you.
God bless. Everything on paper is amazing, but it just has not shown, translated to the field. And that's just the next step that needs to happen.
Yeah, something Tom told us too is a lot of people are like, oh, he's had 3 recruiting classes. He's like, you can really only give him 2.5 at most, because when he came in, it was already after that December signing period.
Yeah.
And so he only had
pretty freaking well in that signing
period. He came in hot.
Then he only had a couple months for the next signing period. So you got to look at that as not really that wasn't a full year of recruiting. Maybe a half year if you're lucky. So you got 2 full years of recruiting under Frost now.
And how many of those guys are left?
When you look at the squad, and we just went over the wide receivers. We have redshirt freshmen, and sophomore, almost everybody down the line. And then we have a couple guys that are only going to play another year, maybe 2 at most.
Yeah, maybe.
So we got
offense,
youth on the offense.
Yeah.
But defense, we're going to have all those guys returning
that
are older.
Yep.
And then we got guys that have played in the system now maybe a year, maybe 2, that are going to be right behind them coming in and learning from them.
And we've seen a couple of guys leave on the defensive side, and maybe that is because of all these guys, seniors, coming back for an extra year, which is not ever going to happen.
Well, and part of it's the younger guys. The younger guys that are there that are probably better than them.
And they could be.
Good competition, man.
Yeah, I mean, I personally think it makes it for way better competition to have a better product on the field.
Which is needed.
But, guys jumping ship is kind of annoying, but personally I think it'll, like you said, competition. I think that'll be a big factor, especially on the defensive side.
And I think that you mentioned guys leaving, and that's annoying as a fan. But at the same time, so many people focus so much on that rather than who do we have here and who's coming in, because they're not looking at the guys that we actually have coming in. Yes, losing our Wano Robinson was
for
big.
the reason behind it, it's like I get it, but I understand. understand that sucks.
Yeah.
Man, that sucks. But you gotta understand that one.
But then you look at Tour coming in.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I think we actually gained. We gained there.
Get
And if we have Omar Main coming on the field, we gained.
And
Well, you gained, exactly.
And I'm sorry, I like Luke McCaffrey. He's a freak athlete, just like everybody else in his family. I wanted him to play the game that he started. I thought that he deserved that. And then the next week I said, okay, I want Adrian back. But he's not a quarterback.
Yeah,
and he's
it's just
and,
like
and
it's
now
called a spade.
our other quarterbacks can come in, and if they have to play, or whatever the case might be, we're not in that limbo of okay, now we got Luke and he's a runner.
And we knew that was going to happen after that. It was just like, okay, Scott's getting pressure. Okay, he's going to go with Luke. I didn't think he was going. Yeah, he had to, right? And it's like, then when you see it, it's like there was. Well, if you know it, and you knew right away. Like he's not, dude. He's not putting him in a good position.
He's a great athlete.
Great athlete, but look at this game that's going on.
The Illinois game.
Yeah, it's like,
first
dude.
possession.
The next game, I'm like, y'all better have Adrian up there. Like, but it made you appreciate, like, oh damn, like. But we just want change so bad. We're just willing to be like, whatever, try it, give us a spark.
If it's not working right now, it has to be somebody else.
Man, it's just like
literally is.
We can complain, but like, what happens when we all believe though? What happens when we actually get behind the team and we actually get riding with it? And like, what happens when it changes? Then what? Then it's just like we complain for what? Just to complain, then we jump back on board and it's back. It's just like let's just.
Then when the change happens and it doesn't work, then people are just complain again.
Let's
Or
just
people
rock
like,
with it.
I told you so.
Yeah, right. Let's just go. Let's just see, man.
So as a previous player, one thing that Jimmy and I talked about with a couple different people is Adrian when he got benched.
Okay.
And everyone saw the video that came out and him showing his leadership and being like, it's not about you, it's not about him, it's not about me, it's about us, it's about the team.
Yep.
And I don't know, maybe of course the video was out there, but you didn't really see the same energy from Luke on the sideline when he got benched after he got to play. And so
he wasn't a vocal type of player.
Yeah, and so as a player, seeing Adrian get benched and being out there for the guys and saying this is about us, not about me, not about him. How, as a player, would you take that and run with it? Like, does that amp you up? As like, man, my starting quarterback just got benched, and then for this other guy, see how it works out. But man, he's hyped up.
I would say we're in there, we're in it all together. So if we're thinking. I would strongly always encourage that we stay on the same path, right? Because Taylor was like that. Zach Lee was very, very vocal.
Yep.
Was very vocal. Was very this. Taylor wasn't even near that. Not even close. But he made plays. He did it. This was the decision that they wanted to go with. So we're going with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? We don't got anything else that we have a say in this such. So I just think that you can see that thing. I just wouldn't play it in my mind too much of like, okay, this, because now you're building something within you, like, okay, this dude is this or this. You just know what you get.
Yeah.
When Taylor came in, we knew what we gonna get. Just like when they benched him the Texas game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Well, he was upset after the game. He was like, well, I knew they were gonna do that. And after a while, we knew too, like, okay, they're gonna try to throw Zach in now, because now we don't have a choice but to pass.
Yeah.
It all made sense, and we took it as that. We weren't going in there like, hey, Bo, you need to stick to it. It's just like, coach, whatever y'all think, we're gonna ride with it. And that's just what we're doing. But we all knew what Taylor was, though. And we all knew that he wasn't going to. He got better, but we all knew he wasn't going to be like, come on and get a rah-rah speech. It's okay. But you better go out and make some plays, though.
And he could.
Yeah. You know what I'm
he
saying?
did.
Yeah.
Well, I think, too, we saw Adrian come in that game after, it was late in the game, but I think it was against Illinois. And he came in. He played well. I mean,
Yeah.
he actually played really well. It's like, man, like he just had to sit all the entire game. He came in just with that energy.
The next game,
That's who he is.
Yeah.
it slipped my mind who he played the next game, but he came in and played really well.
Really good. He had a good game. He had a good game.
Yeah.
And I know it's frustrating for us all to see, because we're like, freshman Adrian, where are you?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, you made a good point, too, how fans are just like, okay, this isn't working. Let's go to somebody else. And I was talking to somebody the other day, and they said, evidently Nebraska just is going to roll with a quarterback for 4 years. Like, Taylor Martinez is 4 years. Tommy Armstrong is 4 years. And now they're just going to roll with Adrian. Why can't we try something else? Well, we tried other things.
Well, what do
And
you
like,
want to try?
it literally, I mean, yeah, he was great right off the bat as a freshman. Came in, no one knew who he was, you know. And then people start watching tape, and then they start figuring things out. I mean, that is how the game works.
Yeah.
But, I mean, now coming in, it'll be his fourth year junior, which no one's ever said before. And I think he could be really, really good.
Yeah. Well, this extra year, if he does it great this year, plays a senior year, now you're getting a tenured guy, an older guy, mature guy. Yeah, it could be because I have to have some grace towards that because I was legit the same guy. I was literally 50 ball guy junior year, senior year, new offense, new coaches, 25 catches, but a million drops, right? I'm playing in my mind about my thumb. I'm just all over the place. And you would have thought the same about me. You would have said, man, BK's fell all the way off. What happened? It's just when you put so much pressure and you put so much anything outside of fun, and you just lose it, man. And I did. I absolutely did. And I can see if Adrian is doing that as a quarterback, young guy, Nebraska. Oh, yeah.
And I think that's what happened to him as a sophomore.
Yeah.
After such, a 4-8 season, but he was really good, and it just seemed like things were
deleting your Twitter for the time and stuff. Yeah, a lot going on. As I should have did. I didn't even do that. I was just like, I'm good, whatever. But I'm still looking at all the comments and looking at it. It's like
his injury didn't help him this sophomore year.
Yeah.
This last year, again, I think. And I don't know if he's trying to live up to Scott Frost. Because we know Scott Frost loves Adrian Martinez like a child. And, and that relationship, I think, is so important to him, and he doesn't want to let him down.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to let his teammates down. You think about it as an athlete, you don't want to let your teammates down, and you do, it's like, man, I just put you down. It's hard to get yourself back up. Especially if it's 3 years in a row we're having rough seasons. It's like, man, I'm doing everything I can.
He's overdue.
Yeah.
He's overdue for a year. I'm telling you.
And the potential there is through the roof.
He's overdue for a year.
When you see a lot of his decision making when he takes off and runs the ball, and how much better he was running this last year than he was a sophomore
100%.
year, he looked more like freshman Adrian.
Yeah, he did, 100%. Some games he gave you some sparks. It wasn't as consistent, but yes, you've seen it. Like, that's who I want to see. Like, that guy.
On a 3rd and 10 in a crucial point in the game, and he runs for a first down for 10 and a quarter yards, and then leads the team on a touchdown drive that ends up winning the game. That is the type of game.
Well, there was like a 3rd and 12 inside the red zone, and he took off and ran for a touchdown. I mean, after stumbling and then getting up,
excited, hype after it. It's like, man.
I want to see more of that, Adrian. I think he's got it, and I hope
100%.
I hope Frost working with him one-on-one more, and working with quarterbacks one-on-one. Hopefully that changes. Hopefully that is something that he's able to learn a lot from Frost. Frost has been there. He's done it. He knows what he's talking about. So I hope to see that this next year. And of course, always extremely optimistic Husker fans that we are. We're always hoping for good things and hoping for change. And we both love Adrian too. And we know he's got the talent. We just want to see it on the field, of course. So, so do you have a prediction for next year as far as record goes?
Man.
I know, we're just hitting you with
So, before you drop that, well, go ahead.
Now, we got Oklahoma here?
No, Norman. We're in Norman. Then we got Michigan. We got Ohio State, Michigan State.
Illinois was supposed to be in Ireland. Now it's in Champaign. Should be at Soldier Field, just saying.
Cool.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough year.
So that's how many? How many we got next year? Is it 8? What's the games? Is it 8?
Yeah, we got
12.
Yeah, we're playing full schedule. Yep, full schedule.
Man.
But we got Ohio State, we got Michigan State, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Ooh wee. I'll say I'll split it, man. I'll say 6 and 6.
Okay.
I just can't go any. And I think that I think if you go 6 and 6, that's positive. A year improvement in a year,
especially with the young squad on offense.
Yeah. I would say 6 and 6, man. And I think that'll be good. And if that sets up an awesome senior 5th, 6th year, whatever it is for Adrian, then like, dude, that can be special.
I appreciate you saying that because it seems like every year everybody's like, whoa, 8-4.
Yeah.
Low end 8-4. Yeah. Seriously. And we're guilty of doing that too. So.
I'm always like, I think we could do this, but I think
we should go 8-4, but I think we could go 10-2.
Yeah.
But no, I respect that.
Yeah.
That's and especially with the tough schedule. I mean.
But I think we could also see our offensive line improve. It has improved and will improve this next year. I think we're going to see a lot of improvements there. I mean, I think 8-4 would be great, but I'm thinking more 7-5.
Okay.
Again, 8-4 would be great. It'd be great, but realistically, 7-5. If we can do 7-5, man, that's
a whole nother.
We just split.
Yes,
we flipped
I agree. What you got, Jimmy?
And we get a bowl game.
What do I have as my pick?
Yeah, man. You ain't getting out of this.
8-4.
All right, I know, exactly.
I'm talking shit.
You're talking all that. You about to get it.
Oh,
God, we're so long away from football starting. It sucks.
Man.
I'll pull the 7-5 as well.
Okay.
I like your 6-6, but you know, with the amount of guys coming back, I just maybe it's optimistic, but I really hope that progresses to a 7-5.
Yeah.
Or 8-4.
Yeah, fair.
So,
Fair. Yeah, man.
So I want to flip to the defense for a second because we talked about Levante David, and we got a couple ballers on defense at a linebacker position. We got JoJo Doman, and then he's one of those guys coming back. Will Hone has really picked it up this last year as well. Those two guys, just ball hawks, and it's exciting to watch them play. And why can't I think of his name? Luke Reimer also.
Yeah,
Luke Reimer came in and was like, who's this guy? He's just balled out too. And then you got Garrett Nelson on the D end, who now I think his main goal is to hit the quarterback and go after the ball, because when he was trying to like play his position, he wasn't playing well. I think they said, just go get the ball.
Yeah. Literally, we've talked about it 100 times.
Yeah.
Literally, just freaking run somebody
Yeah,
over.
just
go
Even if that's all you do. When you try to like step back and you try to go like this, you're not doing anything. Just run somebody over.
But talking about them linebackers, man, like, what do you see out of the defense that just was holy crap this last year that just really made you excited about the
They
team?
played with a lot more intensity, I felt like. They got after. There were some games that they literally like got us through. So that was exciting to see. And I think, if your defense starts to be able to control games, then you really got something special. So I think if we can get into that and stop, and I won't say that these kids are worried about that because again I don't know, but the black shirts and doing all that, to be honest, I was a corporate for this for sure, because my team last year, I coached my son's fourth grade team. We got stickers and everything, cool. But you're not getting stickers for losses though. I'm not giving you a touchdown sticker. And some of the coaches was like, well, it's kind of hard. Nah, man, no. You don't get. I don't care if you score 2 touchdowns, 3. You got this big tackle. If we lost, I cannot give you a sticker. So that's my thing. It's just like if you on the downward, dude, they ain't giving out this year.
Well,
they ain't giving out.
Team loss, right? It's a team.
They ain't giving out, man.
Yes, they had multiple solid performances on defense.
Yeah.
But the one game you're gonna wear the freaking black shirt jerseys is the worst game of the season.
No, ridiculous.
Those are tight jerseys.
Against the worst team.
Those are cool jerseys.
But against the worst team you play all year? I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
It's
don't even do that.
Yeah.
I get it, but these boys got to show what these boys did back in that time. They got to show that it's dominant, that it's these scrimmages. Okay, then
consistent.
But you can't we just giving them out now.
Yeah. You got to live up to
you got to
the
grind, man. Get after
it.
Get after it.
Jason Peters and Jared Tomich's.
Yeah, man.
Well, now they're bringing in Jay Foreman. They're bringing
I think that's awesome.
Jay Foreman.
That's awesome.
And Wistrom has been there before.
All those guys.
Man, again, a lot of fans are like, man, that's just stupid. Why do you even have coaches if these guys are gonna come in? I'm like, as an athlete, an ex-athlete, if this guy came in that he played in the pros, he played for the Huskers, he was a black shirt for 4 years,
what I'm doing.
and they know what they're doing in the weight room, they know what they're doing. Man, that's the motivation.
Listen to what they're saying. They know what they're talking about.
But fans are.
Because you get tired of coaching sometimes. Sometimes it's just the same thing. You hear, once you hear about somebody that has done it, the experience, that's a whole nother level of okay, this dude is exactly right. I'm a linebacker. I did this. I'm trying to do this. Granted, now the games has changed, but it's still that knowing that Jay Foreman, he did it. Okay, I need to at least pay attention to something. 100%.
I mean, you look at Grant Wistrom. I think him and his wife do their own CrossFit stuff.
Oh, wow.
Down in Missouri.
He's a beast.
Last time I saw him, he's still huge, and it's like these guys coming in here, and Jay Foreman is just a sweet. I mean, Foreman's just a good dude. We've met him once too.
Yeah.
I
listened to him on the radio. So
yeah.
That's just learning. I mean, they don't even have to go in there and coach.
Yeah.
You're gonna learn from them just being there.
Being there, man.
Watching,
just being there.
How you
just
guys doing your
voice.
Yes, 100%.
Pushing you,
and that's camaraderie. That's what you're building.
Exactly.
You need to see these guys that have done it around. You know what I mean? And I get it's a thin line of having certain people. Some people are crazy, you know, so many, you know. But I just think you got to build that up because you see that at the LSU's and at all these games where all these guys are back. You know, oh my God, look at this and look at that. Well, that ain't really a thing, you know what I mean, in a sense. So I think Scott's owing to something with that. Just having guys around. You just need to have them around, especially guys that want rings.
It's almost like mentally, right? Like, you got mentors coming in to tell these guys, this is what you guys need to do to be successful. And imagine if you had
you have someone to talk to.
I think fans think about we don't need to bring in these old guys, but if you brought in Levante David, would you think the same thing?
That old? That's still 10 years ago.
You bring in Levante David, is he old? No, he's a Super Bowl champion.
Exactly.
He was one of the best linebackers in the history of Nebraska, at least in the last 20, 30 years. So.
Sorry, he's my favorite player.
Yeah, so I mean, it's one of those things. It's one of those things where it's just you bring in those guys. It's that's a motivational factor. That's just learning.
I agree.
Especially guys that won national championships, or just and like you said, the times are different. Things are different. Maybe some guys won't take to it the way that we maybe would. And
that's okay. It's just for them to just plant those seeds that are there. It may go out or one. It may do it, but just to
they just say, hey, instead of going out tonight or this weekend, get together with some of the guys and
let's go kick it with
or go run some routes or whatever it is, and just that kind of push I think is good.
One little nugget of information that they can share. All it takes is one little thing to maybe flip someone's mentality. Because again, I think we talked about Garrett Nelson a lot this last year, and he was just so hesitant to make plays. He was very slow and he would get in there. He's ready to make the play, but the guy's going this way, and he's just now here. It's like, man, what are you doing? But then all of a sudden, we see him a couple games later, and he's going after guys. It's like something clicked. They told him something, and something clicked where I just need to go.
And maybe he missed it a time or two here and there, but more often than not, he was in the right place because he was playing fast.
But something clicked. Something clicked, and that's all it takes is one little thing to make these guys really click in their head. Like, wow, I need to watch film. I saw that. I need to not do that again. Whatever it might be. But yeah, I don't know, man.
Or maybe even some of those guys can watch film with them and say, hey, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you you did something wrong, but
seriously,
play fast. That's it.
Yep.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
I wish it wasn't March. I just feel like football should be
out next week. I want it tomorrow, man.
That's the worst thing about doing this. We keep talking about it.
Get padded up and
I'm so excited.
It's something.
So excited.
So we do have a question here. So Kyle, welcome to the show. Glad to have you. So Kyle asked, do we think we'll have fans at Memorial Stadium for the spring game? I think we will have fans for the fall. I think it'll be
limited for spring.
So what they were talking this week is, I mean, if it's up to Moose, if it's up to Ronnie Green and the presidents and the chancellors and whatever, the way they should do it is it should be a school-by-school thing. Yeah. You make your own choices. The Big Ten, with its power-hungry strike that it does, they are coming out saying, we can't have fans at spring games. Yeah. It's that's BS.
Yeah, Warren is trying to control that. Because it should be state-by-state, school-by-school.
A school like Maryland or Rutgers or whatever, they're going to not have but maybe a few hundred fans, maybe a few thousand, I don't know, but it's not 80,000, 90,000 people like Nebraska would get. And maybe not saying that we should have that many, but maybe half or whatever, however you want to space it out. But it should be up to the school.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be limited.
But I think maybe 20.
But I even think, full go in the fall too. I'm hoping because I hope so, and I definitely hope so. But I just hope that people aren't. It's the freaking out part that you know what I'm saying. That it's real. I do believe in it and everything else, but it's like I don't know. That still could be for some folks weird. You know what I mean?
It could be years though too.
If you stay,
maybe if we keep going the route, it's like the flu. The flu's never gonna go away. I don't know.
It'll get back normal, man.
If the majority of people get vaccinated, and then for in my mindset anyway, it becomes a choice. Do you want to go? Do you want to be around that many people? If you don't, then don't.
Then no,
But if you do, and other people do, then why not?
I think that's kind of what we'll see in the fall.
Yeah.
That's my take on the fall.
Very, very hopeful for full attendance in the fall, but Yeah, so it looks like I'm not surprised. Kyle, you said Mizzou's gonna have a full state. I bet.
Really?
I bet all the SEC will.
Oh, the
I
SEC
wouldn't be
will,
surprised.
100%.
Obviously, Texas,
Big
Florida,
12,
all those teams.
Big 12 will.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised by that.
Why do y'all say why not in that sense? Because of the capacity of the leagues or what?
Well, why do I say the SEC?
Yeah.
Well, you look at like Florida, they've like lifted all their mandates.
Okay.
So like, I just
got you.
They
Texas
got
would
spring
go-
breakers down
No,
there.
I
Texas,
just
same thing.
Just thinking back to last season, like the SEC was having as many fans.
Yeah.
The Big 12 was.
And
I
some
mean,
of those
they-
games
they-
were
they-
still like, I'm like, dude,
Notre Dame storming
yeah,
the field.
like, what is going on? Like,
Yeah,
that's
we-
cool.
yeah,
We missed
we
that.
playing,
And we
right.
couldn't have a single freaking fan in the Big Ten Stadium.
Poor man.
Come
Family,
on,
that's
man.
it. So I'm hopeful.
Yeah, me too. No, 100%.
Man, I just think you got to think of if the Big Ten is thinking about revenue as well. Schools are going to lose out. They cannot lose out on that much money
Not
again.
again.
The city
Yeah.
of Lincoln can't
Not
lose out on
again.
that much money.
And not only
again.
that, but if you do that with the fans and these other Power 5 conferences are letting fans and whatever, the recruiting is gonna
Yep.
drop off.
Oh,
and
wow, I didn't
the,
even think about
the
that.
literal
Every team.
like prestige of the conference. If everyone else goes to the SEC, ACC, Big 12 because I'm not gonna go there because I can't play in front of fans,
About that.
then the product is gonna drop off.
I didn't think
Yeah.
about that. That's a good one.
But I mean, I think as a player, when you go to a team like,
Especially in
you,
the North
you know,
already.
when you're in the conference, like you got to think that the conference is going to do the best for the students too. And if you don't feel that, like, why would you want to go play for the Big Ten if the Big 12 and the SEC, the Pac-12 are all doing different
Pac-12's
things?
not, but
If they do, it's like, if that happens, why would I want to go play at Ohio State, Nebraska, Indiana? They might be good teams now, but guess what? They ain't making any money.
Yeah.
They're not going to keep recruiting. Like you just know something's got to change. And again, I think Jimmy brings up a good point with the vaccines. They're saying every adult should have the opportunity to be vaccinated well before the fall.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, again, it
Then
doesn't
there's
become
no-
a choice.
I agree.
Yep.
I mean,
That's
So,
all.
it's a choice.
and I think that's going to have to be the way people move forward with their lives. I think in general. Like,
Yep.
I
that's
mean,
just what you have to do.
No.
it's just like us. I mean, do I love to go to Memorial Stadium and go to a game? Absolutely. It's amazing. It's loud. There's nothing like it. You can't
Yeah.
describe it to someone that's never been there. But do I like to sit on my couch and watch the game on TV with a bathroom 10 feet away, beers in the fridge, food in the crock pot? You know?
Me too.
I
I get it,
It's
but
a choice. I choose to more
Yeah.
likely watch the games.
I
at home.
agree.
But
It's a
so
lot,
now-
man. Especially bringing kids, or it's
Yeah.
just like I get one a year. I'm like,
Driving
okay,
down-
cool, that's
no.
it, man.
And you drive down to Lincoln
The
for the
parking,
game, and then
the-
you get back home. It's 3 hours after the game before you get back home.
Jimmy, that was a very well explained. That man, I'm like, dude, I don't never want to
I
go
wanna
back,
go
dog.
back,
That is great, dude. I
sorry.
love it.
No, it's but it is something different. Kind of rolling with that. When we talked to Yoshi, he was talking about when they came up for their visit in Nebraska.
it's a great
They had already
story.
committed to
Great
LSU.
Did they commit
Was
to LSU
David
for 2 years?
was David committed to LSU as well?
David wasn't, so Levante wasn't committed to anywhere.
Okay,
Yoshi was.
Yoshi was okay.
And I was just talking. I was like, dude, y'all gotta
like,
at least come up here.
You guys are coming.
Y'all have to. Y'all have to.
So
have to.
did you tell Bo to come see them guys? How'd that happen?
So how did it start, man? So me and Jason were getting recruited. I committed and went there, and they just started talking to me like, who else is, we see this guy. I'm like, man, those two guys are this, they're this. We had another guy named by the name of I can't remember Yale's first name, but he went to Michigan State.
Okay.
He was
Yoshi may have mentioned
yeah,
that.
he even came on a visit with us, D tackle. But I was just letting them know the top guys, and he was like, okay. They went to look at him and was like, yeah, let's figure this out. So they came, loved the visit, loved the time, but they went to the national championship that year, lost to Cam Newton.
Yep.
4 of our coaches, Barney, Sean, I believe Gilmore might have went down there to the championship, Pittsburgh, Kansas, cold, waiting on Yoshi to come out after the game, never came. Never came out to talk to him, nothing. So this was, Yoshi ended up committing like within the next couple weeks because he came in spring. He came early.
Okay.
Levante was coming summer. But what happened was Levante went on a visit to USF. And they just went crazy. They was blowing me up like, BK, what's going on? I'm like, at the time his girlfriend went there.
Okay.
So it was like, it's just a weekend getaway. He turned off his phone. He didn't even tell me, but I figured, I'm like, he's already committed. He's coming. He told me he's coming. I'm not worried. So after he got back, he called me. He's like, dude, these folks been blowing me up, man. I'm like, I know you scared everybody, man. I'm like, you kicking? He's like, no, I just went down there for a weekend, man. Like, I ain't going to USF. I'm like, all right, good.
It's fun.
Like, yeah, it's free. I might as well take a visit.
Man,
Like,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
Man.
so.
Well, and so did you? So Baptiste, did you see him on the field? Or
So I was gone.
There when you were gone.
Yeah, so I was gone, but they told me about him. They were like, man, this is other guy, BK. And I'm like, who? He got a scholarship without even playing a game.
That's true.
And
Legit.
they said he was a 0-star.
Legit, just practice film. And I got offered the same way. I didn't play a game. Nebraska came in the spring, watched the spring tape, and was like, yeah, we can play him at tight end, H-back or something. So same with Stanley, but he didn't even stay to play at Fort Scott. It was just like, you good, you go straight D1. And I'm like, well, how did this work?
Wild.
Came over to my house the first day with Yoshi, super quiet cat. Once you got to know him, he wouldn't shut up. He started obviously the receiver side, and then went over to the DB side. It was over after that.
And he's a second round draft pick.
Like legit. But that's the 6'2"ers that we talk about that you can't. I mean, that's dangerous out there, man. 220 pounds, 215 pounds. That's 6'2", 6'3", running fast. Dude, that's like cheating.
Yeah,
That's
like cheat mode on that.
Legit though, athletic at a quarterback, I'm having fits if I gotta play against that because he's long, fast, yeah.
And we talked to Yoshi a little bit too. Like, just not only did you guys play with some great guys out of Fort Scott, but like the roster you guys had in Nebraska, you guys were just loaded.
Insane.
And you forget, like, that was 10 years ago.
Yeah,
we were
you
loaded.
forget.
Insane.
It was
Insane. And when I looked at those, when Riley was here, and my son started to really get into football, we started to watch old games, and I would just watch him, and I'm like, dude, we were so physical, defensively, we were just physical all the time. Everybody asked me, who's the best DBs you went against? I'm like, they were in practice every day. Alfonso and Prince Mukamura. And that's no disrespect to Jimmy Smith. That's no disrespect to Jaleel Brown, who were really good cornerbacks at Colorado. Jimmy was a first-round draft pick. Jaleel was like a third, fourth-round draft pick. Great corners, but they weren't Alfonso and Prince. So I got to face that every day. Like every single day. And it was funny. I posted a picture of me, Levante, and Yoshi, and Tyrone Lewis, who used to play in Nebraska too. He was a walk-on. Yeah, Tyler. He was a walk-on at the time. He said, I put it on Facebook and he messaged me. He was like, "You went to school with Jason Pierre-Paul?" I said, "Yeah, man. All of us." He was like, "Well, I knew Levante." He said, "Dog, how did you not make it? You was the most athletic human being I've ever seen in my life." And I had to like screenshot it. I'm like, look, I didn't tell folks like, dog, that was really different. But it's just
son, I was not lying.
Right? But it's just the way that it works, man, in that league. It's just not. And Prince would tell me all the time when he would come back or I would see him, he was like, "BK, dude, I don't even know why you're not. Like, it's dudes up there stealing, bro. Like, legit." And I believed it, but after a while, man, like, I worshiped that. You know what I'm saying? That was my God. And that wasn't even, it's so funny because I put all that time, that effort into it, and that wasn't even the calling. The calling was to pour into children, to change generationally. Like that's what the calling was, and I was missing it. You know what I mean? Until I surrendered everything. So it's kind of cool to see it like, wow, I thought it was football. You can tell me I wasn't making $1 million. Like I told everybody, like, this is where I'm going. I'm going to the NFL. I'm not doing anything else. And then when life hits, it's like, what? Time out, what?
Well, that's because you're just such a great person.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Just loaded roster, man. That's all.
Yeah, man.
You forget, again, Prince and Dennis, like same team, those guys. You see
Deshaun Gomes.
I mean, I think those DBs at that time.
Come on, man. We went to 2 Big 12 championships, won the Big 12 North my second year there. Dude, we have. For us to not win the big ones, we did a lot of stuff though. Like that was cool, man. Like I got to experience that, like in those big games.
When you weren't losing games by a lot either.
Yeah, not crazy.
And honestly, that was the last time Nebraska
ever
was really that high.
Even talked about
seriously,
like that, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
that was you, BK.
Well, you played with Sue for 1 year?
1 year, yeah.
Okay, so you got to think back too. You got Tampa Bay Buccaneers just won the Super Bowl. Pierre-Paul, Levante David, Sue, like, man, you played with all those guys. It's like, holy shit.
Crazy,
that's
man.
insane.
Crazy.
Just insane. But
yeah, man.
That's what I like talking, like, just, and the other guys we talked to, it was fun talking about how they talk about practice.
Yeah.
Even Matt Verzal, who was on the 94, 95 team, he mentioned that practice, like, he was scared to go to practice. He's like, I was going up against these guys, if you got out there alive, that's a good day.
He was a backup lineman.
Yeah.
Man, in the trenches.
Backup center. He's just like, you're scared because, you talk to wide receivers, you ask a wide receiver that played in those championship teams how they felt at practice going up against the DNs, not only that, but going up against seeing Wister on the other side, Jason Peter. Like, how did they feel about going up against those guys? I'm like, that'd be a fun conversation with one of those receivers.
I'm sure those DBs in practice were probably pretty ruthless.
Yeah, physical.
Yeah,
man.
super physical.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, fun.
First of all, talked about a guy spitting on the ball when he's snapping it.
And it was the whole, wasn't allowed to snap it, so they were just at a pause. He's like, I couldn't snap it.
Hawking loogies on the ball.
he said that his coach gave him a dip. It was McBride. McBride gave him a dip. He said he'd start spitting on him.
Yeah, if they hawk loogies on the ball, start spitting on him with dip in your mouth.
That's crazy. Different. See, that's just different vibes, which is
all
alright. But it's like you
It's
just
intense.
grinded back then.
He said he paid for that after a couple snaps, but the other guys got in trouble because they jumped early.
Yeah.
But he's like, McBride's like, hey, what else do you want to do? What do you want to do next? He goes, I think we're good for today. Like, we're good. Like, he took enough of a beating, but that's what's been fun. Like, Des Moines Adams had some great stories. Of course, you got great stories. So Yoshi was great to talk to.
That's our
good
favorite
stories.
thing. Is
Man.
stories, man.
That's what it's about.
It's just fun.
And those are the times I think I told y'all this. Like we would be dreading practice, hating, ready to be done and get out and to get in the locker room. We got all the energy in the world. We spending 2-3 hours extra in the locker room just with each other, being stupid, cold tubbing, shower. You know what I mean? It's just like those are the times I remember because we had fun. Those were like that camaraderie building, man. It was so funny. You miss it sometimes. Sometimes I wake up like thinking I'm in college. Like, I gotta go to class. Like, well, 30 years old.
I wish I could have class, man. I wish I could hang out with the guys.
Man, just do nothing. When life was simple, man.
Anyways, so I just had Kyle wants to bring up that memory in Texas with the 1 second on the clock.
Oh, wow.
We don't want to talk about that.
Wow.
We don't want to talk about that because we just saw what happened in Texas basketball last night with 1 second left on the clock and they lost. So
Really?
all good. So,
another 14 over 3.
Yep, there you go. I don't got anything else. You got anything else for Brandon today?
No, I mean, we'll hang out for another hour.
We ain't done yet, but Brandon, appreciate you coming back.
Always,
again,
always.
And I just appreciate what you're doing. Like I said, with the Faith Jump. I know we follow you out there on social media, so everything you guys are doing is just fantastic. And just preaching the word and making sure people are doing good in their lives. That's fantastic. So we appreciate what you do. Appreciate you coming to see us again.
Everybody always loves when we have you on. I get family and friends texting me like, man, Brandon, it's so cool you guys are friends with people like Brandon. You guys seem so cool. I'm like, he is.
He is so cool. We're
on a different basis.
Yeah, you're right. So, cool, man. We're going to sign off again. I'm Matt.
I'm Jimmy.
Brandon,
Be good.
Okay. Guys, take it easy. Signing off.
We'll see you next time.
That's awesome.